All right, I'll give my review, and then I'm going to go to sleep. Review of Expedition 33. Here's my review. This game is amazing. It's amazing. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. The visuals, the music, the gameplay, the turn-based combat style, the story. Honestly, I feel like it was just a masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. I genuinely feel like it was a masterpiece. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else I can say, honestly. Like, the amount of content in this game, actually, when I think about it, the amount of content in this game, there wasn't too much. I feel like there wasn't too much content, like side stuff and all that stuff. I mean, I got done with the game in, okay, 88 hours. So it's only because I suck. All right, it's because I spent so much time on bosses. I spent a lot of time on bosses. Keep that in mind. A fuck ton amount of time. And I was playing it on expert. So if you play this game on normal, what are the difficulties? Is there a... Yeah, I don't think most... I feel like most folks aren't going to try to go for 100%. Clearly you don't have to. I mean, it does kind of shed... It does shed some light on some interesting story points, which I think was cool. That's what made me want to continue with the... Right, story narrative experience with less demanding combat. Enemies deal low damage and dodges and parries are easier. Recommended for players who enjoy narrative games. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool that they have that. I mean, you can literally just play it on story mode and I think do the entire thing. You can fight Simon in story mode and all that stuff, and Clair in story mode, all of that stuff. I think that's cool. I think that's great that they give people a chance for that. So that is wonderful. That is wonderful. I think that's a great idea. The game is heavily convenient on story and gameplay. You could choose to play it as hard as you want. You could choose to play it as easy and relaxing as you want. I think that's a huge fucking plus. That literally means anyone can play the game. People that just want to enjoy the story. People that want to enjoy a challenge. People that see the game for the first time, want to experience turn-based type of action. And people that have like a lot of 20 years of experience and want to get like a nice challenge of it. I think this game gives it all, man. I think so. My only complaint was there were a lot of areas without a lot of story behind it. So I can get that it was just like extra, extra spots, extra areas to explore with like extra bosses. That didn't really mean much of anything. I mean, you can pretty much chalk it up to like, oh, some of those crazy bosses are just like some random creations. Maybe if you really want to go deep on that, you look at the bosses and be like Silent Hill mentality. This boss is a representation of closure and grieving and this and that. This split boss is representation of this. You can really go, if you want, you can go nuts in that. You can like, I'm sure people will go crazy of like deciphering every monster into like a, you know what I mean? Because that's kind of what it is. It's like Silent Hill, right? Alessa Gillespie manifesting nightmares into like real life monsters, and they all have a story to tell of what happened to her and the grief and the violence and all that stuff, right? It's essentially the same thing. So all the paintings, they all represent something, right? But a lot of them I didn't really think about it right off the bat, but I'm sure that they do have some meaning. But I kind of wish it was a little bit easier to kind of follow through with determining some of that. So a lot of the extra areas and extra bosses just sort of felt like extra areas and extra bosses. That's it. Like it didn't really feel like it had a lot of story behind it. Some of the monsters did have an actual like look to them to be like, oh wait, this is representing something. So you have yet to find the expedition journals. I mean, I didn't find all of them, but the expedition journals is just like basically what it is, like the folks in the painting, like on adventures, trying to get close to the, you know. The interesting part with Simon, is that Clea made a lover. I think she made a lover for herself in the painting. And that was Simon. So that was probably her thing, to find true love, not in the outside world, but in the painting. And that was Simon. I think that's how it was. That was painted Clea that did that. Well, I mean, like, who painted Clea? Clea, right? So they like it brings her ideals and values into that painted version, and then she made that, right? Was he not? Yeah, he was in Expedition Zero. Yeah. I thought he fell in love with Aline's copy of Clea. I'm confused at this, but you know what? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Let's just say yes. It gets a little confusing at times, but. Real Clea never got stuck, right? What's up, Oasis? I want to know how in real world Paris there were god painters finding a bunch of writers that burnt their house down. Yeah, that's the part that's a mystery. That's how I want to know, like, what happened? How did they even get? You know, honestly, it could literally just be chalked up to, oh, it's an alternate timeline where there are very specific painters that have magical powers, like Hogwarts. Think of it like that. It's Hogwarts, but instead of a whole school of children, it's just one family that has like special wizardly powers. I'm sure they can pretty much like come up with something that will explain that in the future. Maybe they don't want you to know. Maybe that's not the point. That's not the point, right? It is interesting, but maybe the movie might tell us. Ooh, what if the movie becomes like a prequel to this, right? How they got their powers. That would be perfect. The movie could explain how they ended up getting their powers, and they could just call the movie Clair Obscur. That's it. How they got their powers. That would be so interesting. Everything would tie into the game. It would totally tie into it. And then at that point, they can think about making a, you know. That would be perfect. It would explain how they got their powers. I still think it'll be like an alternate 1900s type of thing, right? Where like some people will actually have gained powers through some type of mystical thing. You know what I mean? I think that's like the best way to go about it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like the game is great, the music is great, the gameplay is great, the exploration is great. No minimaps sucked. I'm sorry. I think that was one of my problems with the game. No minimap. Now the problem with linear games is that if you make a linear game look too beautiful, you're gonna be like this. Oh, wow. Look at this forest. This is amazing. Wow. Oh wow, there's like an opening over there. I'm gonna just head over there. I'm gonna go explore. Oh, invisible wall. Okay. Well, maybe that's just one thing. What about those rocks? There's a clearing over there. Oh, I can't go there either. Okay, maybe I'll just stick on this road then. They should have done mini-maps. Getting lost in this game was frustrating. Very frustrating. Because you see an open, beautiful world, but you can't go to specific spots because of that. I didn't like it. I kept telling myself, wait, was I here before or not? And I kind of I got frustrated. The game needed a mini-map. I think it needed a mini-map. Aben, thank you for the 59 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Welcome back to another OG in the house. And good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I think that was probably the number one thing I didn't like. Just no mini maps. It got frustrating. So what I did was anytime I entered a new area, I did my very best to make sure I explored everything as I was moving forward, so that way I wouldn't have to backtrack like at all. Because I knew if I had to backtrack, my ass was gonna get lost again. The dev said that they fuck up the minimap on the last moment, so it came out like that? Really? So it was supposed to have a minimap? Well, I mean, if that's true, then I guess that explains it then. If that's true. Can't say I had that issue. I thought the level design communicated fairly clearly where you could and couldn't explore. I enjoyed having it to explore a mental map a bit. I definitely disagree with that. The level design was beautiful, but it was also very deceiving to parts where if you went to a specific location, the game would remind you real quick that you couldn't go there. So there was a lot of like bumping like left and right, jumping up and down. Can I climb on this? Can I vault on that? No, it's invisible walls, which kind of makes it a little messy in terms of exploration. Take Final Fantasy X, for example. Final Fantasy X has more set paths going to different areas. You'll see like an open world, but the game will be more clear on where you can and can't go. And it has a minimap to make extra sure that you won't be bumping into things left and right just to see if you can actually explore. I kept doing that. Not to mention, the number one thing that I had in this game was when I explored an area, the moment I finally like mentally mapped that area, I was done with that area. Time to leave. It happened to me all the time. I'm getting lost. Okay, I gotta remember. Oh, this is frustrating. Where was I? Okay, this, and that. Okay, I finally remembered. Now I know the map, but now I gotta leave. Fuck. It always happened to me at the end of my areas. Like, the moment I remembered, I'm like, well, now it's no point. Now I have to leave because I'm done here. I was like, damn it. So I found myself very lost, frustratingly lost at times. A minimap would have been pretty cool. I respect the beauty. I still think like this is one of the most beautiful games ever. I just wish it gave more of like, if you want to explore in a game like this, like, gosh, it's just like if you end up putting a minimap, you won't feel like you can enjoy looking at everything, and you can still explore even with the minimap. You can still explore, but not kind of killing that immersion that you're running into invisible walls. I think that's the only thing I'm looking at, right? Like, remember when we went into like that underwater world? I was like, dude, this place looks sick. This looks awesome. There's like a bunch of coral forests and this and that, and I tried jumping to see if I can explore, and I got bumped, and I was like, that's kind of a turn off. But at least the game's beautiful. At least it's beautiful, right? So I think the minimap would have made the exploration more respectable instead of just like constantly jumping and seeing if you can go over here and then here and here, and it looks a little goofy trying to like Because I love exploring. And you guys saw me. I was jumping around and be like, can I go here? Can I go here? I can't. Fuck. And it just looked kind of weird, you know? Like, yeah, kind of guessing where to go. Because I'm like, I got to get secrets. I gotta see this. I got to see that. And I'm just like, invisible wall. But yeah, I think that's like my only really true complaint about the game. My original complaint was like, oh, I want to know why this is happening. I want to know why there's a paintress. I want to know why things are dying. I want to like why like, everything is secret. I'm kind of losing interest. This better be good. You know what I mean? And I said earlier in the days, I said like, it's all like they're doing the like kind of like the climactic storyline reveal where it's all going to be hidden. And then you get that part where it ties everything together. And that is so risky. That's very risky because if you don't tie it in together well enough, then the whole story just feels kind of shit. Someone came into my chat earlier saying that they hated the fact that everything is fake, like in the world. They hated that. And I was right there too. Like when I found out about that, I was like, that made me upset. That actually made me upset. I hated that. Because it's like I bonded with these characters and now they're just like not real. Like now we're just moving to a different time, like storyline. What? Like, I don't like this. But then when I played through the rest of the game and beat the whole game, I was like, oh, now I understand. They're setting you up to be in like Miles' shoes, to get a bond with these characters, bond with this real world. And then now the game tells you, oh, it wasn't real. Now this and that. Now the player has to deal with the internal conflict as like, well, I want it to be real because Gustav, right? It's like, no, but it's not. I thought that was clever. And I was like, shit, that's good. That's really good. That's actually really good. I was a little worried. I was like, oh, what is the twist going to be? Because they're just not revealing anything. And they did it great. They did it great. I like that too. Real expedition do with no map IRL because no one has been there before. True, but that, like I said, I think it could have been done better. Just that part, you know what I mean? Like when you make linear games, it does get a little silly when you jump around hitting invisible walls all day, seeing if you can try to get somewhere. Strong contrast between light and dark, which makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully I didn't miss out anything. I think I covered everything, right? Graphics are amazing. Gameplay is amazing. Turn-based RPG with very, very convenient difficulty settings that can make your experience amazing. That way you don't lose track of the whole point of the game and you can still feel interested in going on, because a lot of people don't like turn-based games, like this type of turn-based games. I'm talking about Baldur's Gate. I'm talking about like classic Final Fantasy, like old school. People don't really like those type of games that much. It's not really as mainstream. So I think they did this one pretty well with like difficulty settings in case people don't want to like go super like, oh, I need to find a build, this and that. You know, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's pretty cool that they added like an easy difficulty for that. It's great. Yeah, we do need more games like this. I agree. The music, amazing. I think the music absolutely rivals Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. It rivals it hard. Very hard. Two masterpieces. I don't think one is better than the other. I don't think so. I think they're in their own like top tier music areas. I really think so. You got one with like epic choir orchestra, Japanese like inspired music, this and that, like games, Final Fantasy, and then you have Expedition 33 where you have like this amazing orchestra, singers, like I think they're on their own, like, you know, French inspired, their own thing, like top tier, super top tier. So people don't like turn-based or mainly don't like waiting in lines for enemy has a turn. This game solves this conundrum. I hope so. I hope so. I love games like these. I grew up playing games like these. So I hope so. I hope we see more fantastic games in this fashion, for sure. I hope so, man. Biggest plot hole was Luna saying we lost the Lumina converter when Gustav died. But the party proceeds to upgrade and use unknown Pictos for the rest of the game. Wait, I thought that, didn't they say they had something else for that? I thought they said that they had something else with that. They kept it, well, no, they only kept Gustav's mechanical arm to put it in a place where they can, you know, bury their friend. They left it behind. They left it at the burial site. It was in the arm and Verso gave it back, right? But they remember they buried it. They put it in a burial spot. Marks, what do you mean? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's, you know, it's a painting thing. Like, anything could happen. Anything could be painted to kind of like make up for that, right? It was a separate device. Ah, shit. I mean, honestly, I don't think it matters. The thing is, the plot holes in this game can easily be repainted, right? That's kind of the whole point. Although it would have been cool if, like, never mind. Never mind. Small lamp Gustav carried with him, yeah. But yeah, man. Game of the year potential? Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, yeah, I just hope that people really explore into this game as much as I have, especially on easy difficulty. I hope people feel encouraged to do sides. You know what I'm saying? I hope people do like all of the side stuff, because I think it really does add up to the story. I think it was fun. I think it was great. This game is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I heard about this game like 2 or 3 years ago and saw footage, and I immediately thought, damn, this game looks fucking good. I hope it's good though. But yeah, I think that's the end of my review. I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's GG's, man. That's GG's.